it's, oops, it's a little crazy because it's not the norm. We should just be hot
Mhm.
and dry. We're not dry.
Yeah, we should be about the same, and now it's actually a little bit chilly. And the statistics just show that it was the wettest summer so far, like on history. We've had 12 inches of rain in July.
Oh my God.
So a very, very important kind of concept to understand, which is super important in Ayurveda, as we've gone through in the habits course. That's dinacharya. So that's daily routine. And
Mm-hmm.
as we know, we have ritucharya, which is seasonal routine. So the body wants to have you as the, the kind of like that soul, that consciousness of the physical body, wants you to be aware of seasonal changes and how to change with them. So we've done it on a daily basis now. We've gotten the dinacharya in and pretty dialed up. Now for the summer, especially because it's an extreme summer is, so in Ayurveda, we have 3 seasons, and like we say we have 4, but in Ayurveda, there's 3, and it coincides with the doshas, the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So right now, Kapha and Pitta, excuse me, and Kapha and Vata have like an overlapping of 2 seasons into into our Western 2 seasons. And Pitta is its own season. The whole fiery summer is only Pitta season. There's no overlap into the fall. There's no coming into it from the spring. So Pitta is a really harsh, extreme season. So diet and lifestyle are really crucial to understand that you should shift. And now, especially someone like you, say that happens to you again next year when you have that extreme winter. Your body has been acclimated to not a very extreme change in the 6 months, of the winter,
Right.
the summer. It's like a gradual kind of but you were hit hard. And then again, this summer has been very difficult. So the body wants you to be aware of that and kind of, ease into it and kind of be ready for it, be prepared. So we came off of this spring cleanse, which is grateful, got rid of that. You actually had like that winterness in you this year. And everything kind of shifted metabolically within you. Then we cleansed out the spring, we got ready for the summer. So now the beauty, I'm looking out my windows, and because there's flowers everywhere, but there's also vegetables and herbs and stuff. Wait till you come see.
Oh my God, I
then
can't.
they might be kind of on the down, but
that's okay. The colors of the leaves will be changing. I'll take that.
That's true. So someone hasn't seen that. Yes. And that's another awareness for us. It's so the actual earth gives us this wisdom, gives us this, like even this heads up, hey, something's changing. Let's change with it. How is it changing? Let's go with it. So summer is really crucial. Again, it's very extreme on the body. So there's particular herbs and there's particular things that are just going to grow in nature and come out. They're going to be available in the farmer's market. You're going to find all different things. I would gear more towards thinking of a farmer's market or the farmer's stand by you with something rather than a grocery store, because you really can't get that seasonal change in a grocery store, because now with commerce, we can have anything at any time of year. So if you think of your farmer stand, farmer's market, local people, what is changing, what is coming up in their environment that they can give to you? That's what the earth is trying to give to us.
Okay.
Here, it's so extreme. We've come from frozen winter this year, very, very wet spring. And now everything that is growing is what we should be eating, what we should be taking into our body. And this is all part of that ritucharya, that seasonal changes. So right now in the summer, we're calling it the summer Pitta season, and we're going to go into the Pitta pacifying diet. Like what would encompass a Pitta, and especially if you, let's say that it's getting aggravated for you because you are of Pitta dosha, it's Pitta season, and say you're in Pitta stage of life, say you're in that 18 to 50, 60 in there, where you're still, mentally focused and going, and your energy level is up here. So now you're in a 3 Pitta season. So you really have to be aware that there's certain things you really should do to balance, because if not, the body's going to break down. The body's going to may start settle into a disease state if you get so aggravatedly out of balance, which so many people do because they're not aware. We're not taught
Right.
certain things. We have no idea what, aside from like, wow, the produce is so fresh this time of year. We'll take advantage of it, eat. So what are some things we should be eating? And so think of Pitta is pacified. But no, well, Pitta really is, you don't want to give Pitta heating, drying. Excuse me. You do want to give it drying. You don't want to give it that heating, that salty, that pungent, that's going to like really create fire in the body. And you don't want it to completely like, that sour taste heats the body, but it also retains a lot of water. And the Pitta is very hot and oily and sharp. And so a pacifying Pitta wants to tend toward, which pacifies Pitta, would be the bitter, sweet, and astringent. So bitter helps to tighten things, so that mucousy, that oily system, that astringent and that bitter is going to tighten things up, and it's going to try to get things out of the system. But the sweetness actually helps with like calm the nervous system down. It kind of calms things, because Pitta can get very, heated and out of balance. So a Pitta pacifying diet in the summer, especially, and then again, if you have some Pitta dosha in you, would be the bitter, sweet, and astringent taste. So we're going to add those in. So what would things like that look like? And so in the summer, we have the sweet taste, and you want to go for like that cold, light fruits. Like say I would add much more cucumber, peaches, watermelon. Always eat like your cantaloupe and things like that by themselves. Melon should be eaten just by itself. I know we like to combine it with lots of things, but it's so high in water concentration and it goes through the body so quickly that when you combine it with something else, it actually can sour, because it can be held instead of kind of going through your system and hydrating you. You want to add maybe some light rices, and there's certain sweets. I mean, there's certain spices and herbs we're going to go into that can do kind of like that healing, that you want to get some moisture into you. Someone like me who is Vata, I actually would have a little bit more salt in my diet, because I'm dry. Say it was a hot, dry summer here, then I would want a little bit more salt, because I would be sweating out too much. You want to retain a little bit of it, and I want to actually keep some moisture in. So it's really kind of tricky. What is your dosha and what season are you in? So if I'm Vata Pitta, so I would kind of watch out for what's more aggravated in me, my Vata or my Pitta. Lean towards the Pitta because it's Pitta season. So there are, as we know, the 6 taste, and the 6 taste are very seasonal as well. But then again, you have to take into consideration. That's why I always say, like, really know your dosha. What is your body made of? And maybe like your husband's or anyone that you're caring for can kind of help balance them through the change of seasons. So I love Dr. Ladd. I pulled up, and I'm going to put him in the, I'm going to take some of the links that I pulled up, some cool things we'll get into later. Let me see if I can add them to the chat. Yes, I can. We can do it in the chat later. All right. So I'm going to copy and paste some links and
into our group.
Yeah, I'm going to put it right into the chat right now, actually, so that if you want to, let me see if I can.
Yeah, I was going to try and look while you were. All right, let me go into our. Hang on, get into Facebook.
Yeah, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to put this on the chat and then see if, yep, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to put a couple of these here right in the chat, and you can open them and keep them in your, if you want to. I found some pretty cool articles recently that were related to Pitta balancing.
Well, it's got to text me a code because I do this double.
So here are a few, and then I'll actually send the probably again in our follow-up. So there's a few of those. So, oops. All right, so we have the 6 taste, the sweet, sour, salty, pungent, bitter, and astringent. And there's associated organs, which is pretty cool, which is doesn't have to necessarily be addressed right now, but just in generality, it's really kind of a neat observation to understand that the sweet taste. So remember, as these taste, if you actually have too much of them, too little of them, if you have a certain issue with certain organs. So sweet is associated with thyroid in the upper lungs, which makes sense because the sweet taste is like wheat and sugars and all these things that will in excess will produce mucus, dairy, all of this stuff. So the upper lungs, all that's where the congestion is. And too
Deb,
much.
I don't see it. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to find in our chat.
Okay, good. Right here in our chat, right in our actual chat, right here in this call. Go down to the bottom and look at chat.
Oh, I'm such
Yeah.
a dork. There's
No,
a
not in the Facebook, just
chat
right here.
there. I'm like going, why am I not? Oh,
So we can just do them right there, even if you want.
Can I just send it to myself too?
Oh yeah, you can just open it and copy it, or you can, I can probably send. Yep, you can just copy and paste these. If you look on the right, you can copy it and paste it to your own.
I can do, okay, let me do this. Okay, I was looking for it and I'm like, wait a second.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sour is associated with the lungs, and this is a good thing because if we have believe it or not, so sour is really good because sour actually will help in digestion. Sour actually will actually start digestion. So sour in the mouth, if you like put something sour in, it's so bitter and but it actually starts salivation. So that's why another reason sour is not good for Pitta. So if you have a little bit of some lemon or some lime in your water, very good to help with salivation and a little bit of digestion. Lemon is more heating than lime, but if you in the summer season when it's super hot out and one really crucial thing is people are very much now going from air conditioning to air conditioning, but it's summer, so if you're outside in the heat and then you're coming in the air conditioning, it's really dramatic for the body to go from 90 to 100 degrees down to like 60 or 70. It's an immediate imbalance in the body, which actually slows down or speeds up the digestion, but too erratically. So, I mean, people think I'm nuts, but I try, like, even in the summer, unless I'm getting dressed to go somewhere or go to work, something, to just live in the heater elements. Like I try to turn the air conditioner off in work and everybody gets mad at me. Like it's a garage, like let's just sweat in here a little bit. And so, but even like to sleep, I would prefer to be a little cooler. Like at night, I don't want to sweat when I'm sleeping.
Right.
But I could have windows open over air conditioning. The body can just stay more balanced. So something like the sour taste, everybody likes to add lemon water. It's actually better to have your lemon water in the winter because it's heating. It heats you up.
So what should you have in the summer? Like a cucumber water or?
Cucumber water, absolutely. Bing, right on the head. Yes, you want to have a cucumber water. You can put, rose water, rose tea, things like that actually cool the body down. Cucumber, mint, cumin, all things like this are very cooling for the body. Some of the spices that are really cooling are always, mint, cumin, coriander, fennel. Fennel's a new, people are finally catching up. Fennel's amazing, but it's also cooling for the body. Most people here aren't aware of neem. It's a tree and it grows in India, so that they use it for so many different things. Neem is very cooling. Saffron, if you were to make saffron rice, that actually helps with all of the Pitta. It's sweet, bitter, and astringent. So saffron is really good for the Pitta season. Turmeric, it's bitter. Again, one of the 6 tastes of summer. It is, there's really 3 primary. It's bitter, it's pungent, and astringent. So you don't want to have too much turmeric because of that, that pungent. So that pungent can actually, add aggravation to the digestion, but it's very good in the normal, like a good healing amounts, like for your inflammation and all, but it cools the body again. Tarragon. So you'll see like a lot of people will, plant the tarragon in their garden. Tarragon is very good. It's sweet, cooling, and pungent. So again, tarragon is a spice that you would never use too much of it anyway, because it's that beautiful
Right.
taste. You don't want to like really overdo it at dinner or any kind of dish. Tarragon chicken salad, tarragon tofu salad. It's very good in that.
Love their chicken salad. Yeah.
And vanilla is it's sweet, astringent, cooling, and with it, its post digestion is pungent. So you'd have to be aware if you have any kind of colon issues. So that post digestion is after the whole digestion, like when you're in the elimination process, what it does to that part of the body. So there's, the beginning stages of digestion, and it's the sweet taste, and then it has the actual taste through digestion, and then post digestion. So it's pretty fascinating how different one food, one spice, say one particular thing could go through the body and have 3 different effects on. So that's the taste in the beginning, then the digestive taste, and then the post-digestive taste. So Ayurveda takes into consideration your dosha and how that food in that season is going to affect you. So we're going to look towards those cucumbers. Tomatoes are very juicy. So anything very, very juicy is going to help cool the body down by hydrating it. So you might, plums, peaches, pineapples, all of those juicy fruits. So I have a few really great recipes. People don't remember, it's really great to take a lighter protein in the summertime because it's easier to digest. You want those light foods. You want things that are going to cool the body down, but are going to be very easy to digest, because the heat is actually harder to deal with the body than the cold. The cold, we have more that insulators, and we have
Right.
we're eating those heavier foods because the body can handle it. In the summer, it cannot. So you want to go those lighter fish, lighter meats, easy to digest beans, not the heavy beans, things like that. So if you were to have a light piece of fish, you might just have it over a bed of, greens, or in the summer, I do a lot of that, like cucumber, tomato, dishes, salads like that, and put a light fish on it, but grill your fruit. And then you add like a little bit of spice. So say you have some rosemary, tarragon, your basil, and then grill these with your fish, or, bake, and then, but grill your fruits and put it on, because that little bit of heating starts to actually break down the sugars in it a little bit, and will add more of that sweetness to the meal. But it heats it a tiny bit too. So it's a little bit on that tiny bit pre-digested state because it's a little bit cooked, but it just adds this beautiful glaze to any, without having to add sugar to anything. It's just the fruit. So you can use your plums, your pineapples. I've grilled peaches, pears, like all these juicy things. You want to add blackberries, have a ton of antioxidants in them. Really great for the summertime. Oils for Pitta season. So in Pitta season, ghee is sweet, cooling, and then sweet again on the post digestion. And then avocado, of course, lots of avocado to eat, but you can also avocado oil, very good.
Yep.
And we'll get into some of the foods like coconut, to eat coconut, drink coconut water, extremely hydrating, has electrolytes in it. But coconut oil is another very good one. So you can coat your oil. Again, you're going to try not to use olive oil to it because it has a low heat. So you don't want to cook with olive oil. You want to pour the olive oil on your food, salads, whatever your dishes are. But olive oil itself on top of food is really great in the summertime. It's one of the lighter oils. It's just so nourishing. It's really lubricating, especially if you have any vata, or if you're in an extreme pitta aggravated state for some reason. It's in the summertime, you're aggravated. That digestion can actually burn out the tissue in your body, get skin rashes, but it can burn out the connective tissue in your joints as well. So adding these extra oils and things to you as we do our abhyanga, our rubs, and as we eat a little bit more of these better oils, we can lubricate inside out to where the kapha, that acid in our system, it kind of like travels through the system and actually dries out the joints. So someone pitta is usually very, very oily, but if they're in a super aggravated state, they could be literally burning up their system with that fire
Wow.
acid in their system. And then sunflower, it's a sweet, astringent, cooling oil, and that really pacifies the vata, again, even as a skin oil. Some of the summer herbs, some are like very Ayurvedic and you don't, but normal things like aloe. Aloe is very good to put, even you can drink aloe in the summer if you're feeling very imbalanced. That coconut water and that aloe is really good just to drink as a supplement. You can add it in your smoothies. I mean, it's super easy to add aloe into any of your cooking. Certain things are a little harder to find, but in your spices and in your herbs, you can get barberry. Burdock, though, burdock is very, we use that a lot in the spring and in the fall. It's kind of that cleansing, but sometimes that pitta oil and that extra excessive fire needs to be kind of like pulled out, and the burdock is actually really good. Chamomile, very soothing, very cool, very calming. It's an herb, but again, we can use this for our essential oils. The chrysanthemum, it's not many people know of the herb or cook with or use it. Some chefs will use it. It's a very like flavorful dish that you can add again on top of, you can add it to rices or to fish dishes, to lentil dishes, but we're not very familiar with that. Another one, comfrey. Some higher chefs will use the comfrey, but the normal kitchen doesn't have that. Dandelion, though. Dandelion, again, if you're in that pitta and you feel like you need to actually pull things out of the body, we could use the dandelion root, much more cleansing. But if you have just little bits, the actual dandelion flower and the leaves are a very gentle cleanse. So if you add them into your salads, add them into any kind of like a saute, they taste really great, but they're just a little bit cooling.
I can go pick dandelions and eat them?
What was I saying all spring? Like any dandelions out here, they were coming into my food, my smoothie, my salad.
Oh my God.
Yes, absolutely. One of the best things you can eat.
Wow.
As long as your neighborhood lawn provider hasn't poisoned them yet.
Yeah.
That we
got that.
Kind of like go to, like I can go here, a little wooded area. Like, so say if anything gets, just make sure you stay away from anything that's been fertilized.
Yeah.
Just a little bit outside, you'll see them. I mean, they'll be growing in the street cracks. Dandelion roots are in the fall. By the time the root gets really, really big in the fall, that's when we want to really cleanse out that heat. Again, pitta heat. So we're going to cleanse that out in our fall cleanse. So the dandelion root, we're going to use more of this spring to get the water and that dryness out of us. That's when we use the flower and the leaf. So different times. And then again, by fall, the dandelion root is so much bigger. So echinacea, because it's bitter, it's pungent though, but it's cooling. So you only want a little bit of echinacea, which you think is just immune boosting, but it's really good for pitta season. Golden seal, another thing that we think of echinacea and golden seal as being very good. If you take a little bit of that all through the summer, especially someone like you who is in a very hot environment, it will help get rid of a little bit of that heat. You never want to overdo anything, especially spices and herbs. Small amount is very, very potent. Hibiscus is amazing for the summer for any pitta. I have got Kevin drinking hibiscus tea every single day, just sun tea, by a very good brand. You can even go on Banyan Botanicals or Mountain Rose and get like a bag of hibiscus leaves dried and just make sun tea. You could make it at your house in 2 hours. Just fill up your jug with a couple, you can make your own little tea bags, hibiscus flowers, or buy a very good brand of it at the grocery store. Try like some that aren't really processed and all that. Put it out in the sun in a big jug. And hibiscus is good for cholesterol, blood pressure, diabetes, almost every disease. It cools the body, and it actually like extracts like different free radicals and things from the body, and actually helps pull this out. It's amazing. Hibiscus is great for almost everything pitta, and even for anyone to drink.
Nice.
Raspberry, another amazing. So to eat your raspberries, drink raspberry tea. I
drink raspberry tea. I love it.
So good for the summertime. It's astringent and it's sweet and it's cooling. So 3 of the pitta, characteristics that we're dealing with that we want to. Did I say licorice? I'm drinking my licorice root tea right now. Licorice root tea.
No, oh, I can't. Oh, I thought you were saying I could eat licorice.
Absolutely, but if it's the real licorice root, if you go to your local herbalist, or if you have a natural food store and you get the root, it's amazing. You can chew on it a little bit, where you take a tiny chunk of it and you boil it in a little bit of water for a good 10 minutes or so, you simmer it down. Makes the most amazing real licorice root tea. So delicious. Unless you have very, very high, no, wait, let me think. I said it just backwards, I think. It can lower your blood pressure. So if you're very low blood pressure to begin with.
Licorice root. Wow. I love licorice. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is why I like fennel.
Yes, exactly. And it's very soothing to the system. It's very healing. It actually coats the system going down. Again, Pitta is going to be very acidy, and all of that acid burns the inside. So licorice is really, really good for healing the inside, along with, I would suggest, if you have a very aggravated Pitta in your little surroundings, the aloe, I would give it to them every day.
Well, we drink aloe water.
Yeah, perfect. Exactly. Very, very good.
I don't like the taste of it when I drink it.
Yeah, well, I have one that's tasteless. I don't know if it's as good as the kind that's like pure aloe. So
no, this is nasty.
Yeah, it is.
But I'm drinking it anyway. I just have to have it. It's like that has to be cold when I drink it. Not ice cold, but it has to be cold.
Yeah. Well, you can put that in a smoothie too, and kind of detect. You won't detect it in that. Yeah. It is very, very, very bitter. Red clover, rose, two other really, really good. Rose is fantastic in the summertime. People don't really, I mean, we're not used to going out and getting, but sandalwood. So the herb, actual sandalwood, those are, as you remember from essential oils and things too. Sandalwood is good, but not something that we're, and senna, you have to be very careful with senna though. Senna is very, as we know, that's very, it actually pulls and softens in the body. So it extracts from the body. So anyone that's having really bad constipation or something, you would give them a little bit of senna, which a lot of the
I don't need senna.
Yeah, exactly. And people get really kind of extreme on it. It's really bad for the body in large amounts. And then yarrow, another one, very, very good herb. So all these herbs and things are very complementary. They're so easy to put in dishes. You can have them in salads. You can add them to stir fries, whatever. And they're extremely beneficial in that Pitta season. A couple really easy drinks too for the Pitta. As I said, rose water. So if you were to make your own rose tea, so I've taken it where, how if you actually have the rose petals and you dry them down, you make a little bit of rose water from that. If you were to take that and add it to a little bit of milk, you make this rose milk. You boil 1 cup of milk, not boil it completely, get it heated. And then you blend it with a tablespoon of that rose water, even the kind you can buy from the natural health food store. Just buy the kind that is food grade, not only like a face wash. And they do sell the both. And then you can add a little bit of honey to it, or a maple syrup. And then you kind of froth it as this you have it as a warmish beverage, like you were to drink tea or coffee, but it internally cools the body down. It's amazing.
So rose petals that I can get from
mountain rose. You can get, again, right now we have the ability to buy really good quality teas right from a Whole Foods or something like that. You could get rose tea and just make it a little bit stronger, not just the one tea bag thing, maybe make it a little bit more concentrated. Add that to a cup of milk so that you get that flavor of the rose.
Okay, I can do that. I've seen that at Whole Foods. Okay.
It is so cooling for the body, especially at night, when you get hot and you're going to bed or whatever. If you were to have a cup of that warmer, it is warm, but the heat, the ability to cool the body down from inside, the same thing you would do with mint and cumin, things like that. You want to cool the body down, any kind of a mint tea, add mint to your dishes, goes inside and cools the body. That's what you want. You want to be internally cool. If you can't jump in the pool or can't go take a cold shower, you want to do this.
Okay.
So, cucumber milk, another one you could do, believe it or not, but cucumber water just cucumber water is so, cucumber mint
I
water.
do love water, cucumber water. I do.
Yeah,
I
add a
love,
little bit of
yeah.
mint to it and it's amazing. If
Mhm.
you add the cucumber to like a coconut milk, excuse me, coconut water,
Mhm.
it's amazing. It's so delicious. And then another really good drink that kind of cools the body down but gives you energy is I think we talked of it in the cleanse, is the date shake. So you can take your almond milk. I usually put like probably three dates in it, and you put it in the blender. Actually, you can soak it overnight. It's better when you soak it overnight. So if you were to take the dates and a couple almonds, maybe 4 almonds or so, put them in water overnight, and then they kind of like, so the almond softens and the date kind of plumps back up again. You can drain that off. Actually, the water's really good. Drain those off, put them in a blender, and then a cup of your almond milk or whatever milk you use, and blend that up. And some people will add like a little bit of a banana if you like it. Sometimes you can add a mint. It's even more cooling to make it a little bit thicker, but just that as it is, just the 3 ingredients give you this sustained energy, and it cools the body down at the same time. It's really, really tasty. So the
Nice.
almonds and the dates are that energy. You've got that protein going, and the milk, and it just makes it nice. And it's like this quick pitta. It's a really pitta pacifying shake. Some pitta can have just that for breakfast, and it's because the almonds are very filling.
Yep.
So that's a really good, that's like, these last 3 were like what they call medicinal drinks for the summertime. So we have the 6 taste, the 3 that are pacifying, that are going to calm down. Pitta are the bitter, the sweet, and the astringent. So we're going to kind of focus on those. I have, let me see what I did with. So I have, so really great for the body. So you keep in mind, and what I do a lot is, as I said, I always take like my winter spices, I put them to the back, I bring or usually make new spices for the summertime. And then as I'm planning my garden or planning my visit, like my little run to the farmer's market, I kind of already know what's going to cool the body down, what's going to calm my mind down, like what of these spices are cooling and calming. So I always have a lavender bush, as many plants as I can. I have always plant the lavender, the tarragon, rosemary, just in case you need that stimulation, and it just tastes.
Yeah, I have that. Yeah.
You can make the skewers with it. So any kind of planning for each season is going to set you up for success. So if you have a garden, if you have a farmer's market that everything that's starting to come into season, go back to like our meal planning, or in the beginning of the week, or even 5 minutes before you leave for the farmer's market, or go out into your garden. It can be, once you have the supplies, it can be on a whim. So I'm lucky enough to have the garden, and we have like 2 really good farmers markets. One's on Saturday, one's on Sunday. So if you go with an idea of that, whatever is there is in season. Even corn is very, very good. It's a really good grain for pitta because it's a little dry, but corn products are now in too many things. So like your corn flour, so it's been over, like that corn gluten, but real corn is really good for pitta and pitta season. It's very nutritious for them. When they say it's not, it really is. So if you were to do, corn on the cob, things like that, and some of the corn is actually juicy. So if you get some of these ingredients, it's so easy to make a few meals. If you just take, what do you want? What are you tasting like? So that salad that I posted the other day, I wanted avocado, and that vinaigrette was so simple. And then all of the summer things that are there, you just take whatever it is, chop them up, have this lightness, but the body can digest, and it uses the coolness to balance it. And then say you want a light piece of fish, a light piece of meat.
So I'm finding like my favorite things, and I don't know, and you didn't say anything about them. Like I love the sweet peppers in my salad in the
Absolutely.
summer.
Absolutely.
And I did that with cucumbers, sweet peppers. What else do we put in there? I had some broccoli, and I'm trying to think what else we had. It was a 4th vegetable. My God, I'm brain dead today. But anyway, and then my protein, I had hard-boiled eggs.
Very good. Absolutely.
And it was so colorful. Like, I mean, I loved it, and I do, those are the kind of things like we love those. We eat those a lot. I just really have not eaten a lot of corn because I've just always heard that corn's not good. But this is interesting because I love corn on the cob. So
Corn on the
Okay.
cob is so, so good. And
Yeah,
it actually is, it's actually good for you. I mean, it's because we have eaten in the past, we have eaten so much of it in excess.
yeah.
Well, no, not eaten it. I take that
No.
back. It has been made into so many ingredients that
Yep.
that's really,
Cornmeal, yeah.
that's the part that is so, it just gets so overused in things that the gluten in it is like, it's not good for you.
Yeah, that makes sense. Good to know. All right, because I'm going back to corn on the cob.
Yes, so we just had it the other night, and then we went to I think I made a salad like the next, yeah, I did the next day. And then so I just took it, what was left on the cob, and you just shave it off.
That's what we
Grill.
do. Yes.
Exactly. So
And I like that with the little onion. I know it sounds silly, but I'm like, oh, this is so good. Yeah.
oh, it's absolutely delicious. So if you go into that pantry list that I gave out probably last week or the week after, that
Mhm.
list. So the summer vegetables, that's kind of everything. And anything that has an asterisk next to it is like the superfood of the season. So you have your artichokes, asparagus, avocado, beans, sprouts. Sprouts are so light. So the smaller the version of the plant, like the sprout, it has all of that condensed energy in it, and then it's going to grow up to be this big plant. But it already has the wisdom and it has the makeup of the entire plant in this size bean, the sprout. So it's more packed, more nutritionally dense than the whole big plant. So the more sprouts and all, they're fantastic in the summertime.
And when
And
did we send those? Because I'm looking, I keep all your emails and everything.
I'm going to, I think I sent it, let me look here, I just pulled it up. June 16th, but I
Oh,
can,
June. Okay. No,
here,
I've got it then because I was like, wait, was that recently?
yeah.
No, I have that one.
Um,
Yeah, I have this one.
okay, so the bitter melon, broccoli, cabbage, just think of everything that's growing in the summertime that's in its bounty. Celery, amazing for you. Cauliflower, I can't have, my Vata doesn't really like cauliflower. Cilantro, cucumbers, dandelion, eggplant, endive, fennel, green, the jicama, kale, and try different things. Like if you
Yeah.
go to a farmer's market and they're offering like that kohlrabi or something, that's amazing for you. Eat it, like try different things that it might work, maybe you don't like it. The greens, especially ton of like zucchini, watercress, turnip greens, all the greens on certain things, the beet greens, all those are so, okra greens. And what did I did bok choy, like all these amazing things that we have
Yeah.
in the summertime. You want to incorporate as much of those as you can. And same thing with the fruits, like mangoes, oranges, peaches, pears, persimmons, pineapples. Like there's so many abundant in the summertime. And then again, hopefully it's more fresh. And having that, available, try not to stick with the same things. Again, that microbiome, that diversity, the more
Mhm.
we eat of a variety of things, the more we're getting in. So maybe if we got it from the farmer's market, like mine, this one organic grower, it's still kind of dirty. Like it's cheap, and they look like they went to the field in the morning and they're at the farmer's market, and that's the first one that I go to. You're getting that diverse microbiome within you. For every plant has a little bit different little bug, source on it. You want that, especially now in COVID. You don't want to be sterile completely. Like
No.
those who have dogs and animals and things like that, like you want a little bit of that. So if you're eating more of a diverse, little bugs, the more you're going to add to your own strength and your own microbiome, your own gut health, which we know we're learning now is the key to health. Our gut is the key to health. So the more we can add in there, the better off we're going to be. So try a diverse, like maybe 1 week, like don't just have, I'm not saying don't. I recommend not only eating cucumbers, tomatoes, and zucchini or something the whole summer. Like keep trying all these other things. And if we're lucky enough that the farmer's market provides some of it, keep trying all different things and eat a little bit different things.
List. Yeah.
I get in the habit, like I had that salad from the day, like some of the recipe, and then I thought of it a little bit different the next day. But then by the third day, I'm like, okay, now I have to try something else. Like now I have to add a couple more ingredients in because it tasted so good. I could do it again. but you kind of want to keep adding diversity into your menu. So, so I would take like say for dinner, say you like fish or chicken, bless you.
Thank you.
Grab some things, say you want to grill them. Bless your heart.
All right. Okay.
Take a few of the vegetables and say corn or something, because corn can be your starch. Go out to the grill and just slice a couple up, grill some things, especially those little grilling plates. You don't get the grill on your, vegetable.
Yep.
And then just nice and fresh like that. Maybe you want to put it over a salad or something. Like make it super simple and super light in the summer.
Okay.
Then add a little bit of your fresh spices, maybe your basil or some, whatever you like in your garden, and put that, fresh on top. I know you probably like a little bit of mozzarella cheese and the tomato and the basil and the olive oil. Very fresh, very good.
And the balsamic.
And the balsamic, things like that.
Which is sweet.
Absolutely. And so is the cheese. So you can have your cheese, just don't have it every day, 3 meals a day, and milk and yogurt.
Oh yeah. No,
I do.
I can't even eat it twice a week,
Yeah.
anymore. It's so sad. But yes, I do love that. And I love it with tomato, and I do the sweet balsamic, and oh my God. And with some basil, and I'm in heaven.
Exactly. And take your berries and things. So like on the summer, on the weekend, I'll make scones or something. I made them again this morning, but so then take a little bit of your berries, maybe saute them for a minute with some peaches or like whatever you have that came, saute a little bit, pour that over, a scone or pancakes or, whatever you're finding that is, say you wanted a little bit of that, sweetness in a muffin or something, take fresh berries and put it on it, but sometimes maybe saute it a little bit. So there's certain things you can do that are going to add these 6 tastes, because you still want to have 6 tastes, even though you want to concentrate on the bitter, sweet, astringent, you still want the sweet, sour, and the pungent. Sour, pungent. So you still want to have those all 6 tastes, just in different varieties. I think I had a cool printout before. I'll send that one over. It was it's pretty cool. It was like a wheel, and it showed you the portions that would pacify. And that's not it. That one's not it, but I will send it over. It was a pretty cool article. I'm pretty sure I
just based off of that added to this list. Sorry, this is what I was doing. I'm doing homework at the same time with you, because we're going to Florida next week. And I'm like, can you add these vegetables to the list? Because they're going to go to the grocery store. So I was just setting that up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I think I'll do that.
And especially in Florida, there's longer.
Yeah, I know. So I was like, oh my
God,
why didn't I think of mango? I mean, I don't even know why I didn't think of that. And I love mango.
Yes. Super juicy like that. You want to incorporate that, especially because it's going to cool the body down, and it's going to hydrate. Because you're probably going to be sweating and sweating and sweating. So you want to add a little bit of a lot of hydration if you're sweating that much out. Right.
Yeah, no, and then I just threw cucumbers on there, because I can just sit there and eat cucumber all by itself.
So delicious it's so delicious, and it's so good.
So good. I know. I love them. I really do. I mean, the beauty of it is with summer, I love the summer vegetables.
Yes.
The winter ones.
Yeah, well, a lot of times in the winter, we're going for more of the fats and the proteins, and
I think that may be why, because I'm like,
it's mainly like the root vegetables.
I like
you have to think seasonally.
And that's really it.
Would any of these vegetables that are growing right now in my garden or in the farmer's market, would any of them survive in the winter? No. So
that's probably, but I really only like the squashes in the winter, which is very interesting, and eggplant, and that's what would last a little bit longer, and that's what would be available. So that's what you're supposed to eat. Yeah. Oh, okay. Because that's my go-to.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, this is good. I just updated my list. I'm like, I want this.
Yes. So and check it out. Like as they get, grab some different things that you're not.
Well, I want to do that rose water, and I just want to make sure I wrote this down right, and forgive me, but I'll get the dried rose petals, right?
Mm-hmm. Or a very tea if you want to make it easy on yourself.
Do what? Get the rose. Okay, get the tea. Use 2 bags, and then I'm going to, after I've steeped it, then I'm gonna blend it with almond milk and froth it, right?
Yes. You only need, like, if you make it nice and thick, like a really strong tea, or like a really smell the roses on it, you could use 2 tablespoons of it or something in your milk. Like
Okay.
you want to really taste it and you want to get enough of the rose in you, but it doesn't have to be like, 8 ounces of rose water in your milk, because that might not taste great. So I only take.
Right. That's, I just wanted to check. Okay. Well, can I save the rest if I'm doing 2
Yeah.
tea bags and I steep them and I just put it in the fridge and.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And you were going to tell me, and
I would
so we're
put it
talking
on
about
my
cucumber.
skin, actually.
Yeah. Oh,
Left
that's
over,
a
I would
good
put it
idea.
right on my skin.
Could I use it the same thing like I was doing on my face? Because I use the rose
But
water on my face.
But with the distilled water, the hydrosols and things like that, they last longer. But if you
Okay.
just made it and it's hot out and you're down in
Yeah.
Florida, right on your skin.
Okay.
And then go to
What
bed.
about, speaking of that, so what about that? You were going to tell me about that cucumber spray.
Yes. So the cucumber spray. So if you have a juicer,
Mhm.
take your cucumbers. Mine are pretty big this year in the garden. So I took, because I wanted to make, so you'll see however much juice you get out of it. So say you use 1 or 2 big ones and you'll get 6 ounces or something.
Mhm.
Take that. And then you want to add probably about, if you get 6 ounces or 8 ounces, that's a lot. I would only add 1 tablespoon. Anything less, I would only add a teaspoon of the vegetable glycerin, and then a splash of the
Witch hazel.
hazel. Just really a dash, like just a dash of that. And then you're going to leave 1 in the jar to use with a cotton ball if you want to spray it around, and then put some of it into a spray bottle, and then shake it every time before. It's so cooling. It completely cools the body down. And again, you can do that with the rose water. Very, very cooling for the body. So
I do the rose. I love my rose water. Yeah.
if you're in Florida and it's hot or you're out in the sun or whatever, so easy. Just make your cucumber. And if they don't have a juicer, but they have a blender and a piece of cheesecloth or a grate, you just mush it up in there and it's like this wet ball of stuff. Put it in a cheesecloth and squeeze it out. And then you have the juice, because not everybody has a juicer. So food processor.
And I've got cheesecloth. Yeah.
Yeah. So that if you don't have the, a means to be in front of a juicer, just use your blender.
Okay. That's what I wanted. Okay.
And it's so, so amazing. Even right out of the shower, you're like, oh, it's the best tonic.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're going to balance the body, kind of be aware of, like, start being aware, like, just make it a habit of like, I wonder if that's heating or cooling. I wonder if that's like, you start to understand. And then, when you go into the grocery store, like, oh, it's wintertime now. I want to heat my body up. I want to circulate.
Right.
It's hot. I want to cool the body down. I want to calm things down, so things like that. You start paying attention, which can be done with food and spices and herbs. Like that's.
I know. I like it.
Yes. So that was a lot, but I have those 3 in the chat. So I'll send
I copied it over. Yeah.
You copied them already? And
I basically just took a picture of it because I didn't know I'm technologically challenged.
Okay. You know what? Don't worry about it. Because when I send the email tomorrow with the thing, I add all the links, because I have a couple other cool links with the different things.
Yeah. Because I've been saving them all. I have a folder. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Any other questions or any food things? You can even just shoot over an email or a text, and I'll send this out to the other girls, because I think everybody's in a heated environment, especially like Miranda and Katie.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
There for Ashley too. So
perfect.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So you're going to Florida for the week or for?
Yeah, we leave Saturday. We're going to Destin for the week. We do this every year. Well, actually, this is going to be our last year. We have we get the whole family together.
Oh my God. Kevin's son will be there Thursday for the weekend for his bachelor party. Somewhere in Destin, they're going to be golfing and everything.
Okay, so if I see a bunch of crazy guys, I'm going to call you.
Yeah, it's probably like 10 or 12 of them.
Oh, God bless them. Well, our house is 1 in from the beach, so we go all out. So I don't think there'll be anywhere around us.
Oh, good for you. Enjoy.
Yeah. Thank you. I love you.
Okay, love you. Thanks. That was a great call.
Yes, talk to you later. Bye.